What has been my biggest stress releaser tool? Something that has helped me for years together deal with probably the toughest problems of my life. And it still does on a day to day basis. Recently, we came across this sad news of Anna, who lost her life due to extraneous work pressure, which had caused her depression. Unfortunately, she didn't know how to deal with it and probably did not get enough support. But I hope that in some way I'm able to help people out understand how to deal with the stress better and share my story here. I started living alone at the age of 22 and I have been living away from my family since then. Now I am married, so I'm living with my husband, but for a long time, from the age of 22 till the age of 34, I was living all by myself. And in this time period, trust me, I have been through a lot of personal life stress where I've got into bad relationships, I had breakups, I had trouble managing my productivity at work or my performance at work. I had good and bad relationship with my peers in office or even my managers. It was a fortunate thing for me that I found my ways of dealing with it. I got some support from my friends. I knew how to reach out to people, and probably I was okay being vulnerable to discuss this with people. But in a lot of instances, people don't know how to deal with the stress. Now, there are two types of stress when we talk about it. One is something that comes in your life as like a huge problem that you need to find a way to understand how do I solve this and deal with it and go on with your life. Say, for example, if you are in a bad relationship or you go through a breakup in your life, but that can be a period of, let's say, 6 months to a year time when you are going through with a lot of emotional turbulence, and you have to find a way that you kind of deal with it and continue living your life the way you are living. The second type of stress is everyday stress. You travel to your office, you are at home, you're preparing your meal, then you are at your workplace, you have your peers, you have a lot of things that are happening around you. This all also causes a stress. Even if you say, I don't have any active big problem in my life right now, but that doesn't mean that we are not going through stress. This is completely unlikely that there will be a time in your life that you'll be stress-free for a really long time. Something or the other will seep in for sure. The way I look at this problem is that we need to have our mechanisms, our systems to deal with it. Now, I have had certain things that I feel that have worked for me, and I'm going to share that with you and see if that makes sense for you. The very first thing that I would like you to do, find your community, find the people who you think that you can talk to them about your problem and be extremely transparent with them. I know it is going to be hard because you have a feeling that they will judge you, or you don't even know how to talk to them. But I'm sure that if you think hard, you will find somebody. In relation to this, opening up to somebody, I will tell you one thing. For the longest in my life, I kept things to myself, thinking that if I tell it to someone else, they will laugh at me. And they might misuse this information. They might go and tell my story to somebody else. And I might come across as somebody weak because I'm discussing my problems with someone else, right? Those things do come because we want to maintain a certain perception in people's mind. We fear discussing these problems with them. Or also we are scared that how will people perceive us and how will, they use my story. Maybe they laugh at me, at my back and talk to 100 people about me. But I think by not doing this, you are not doing any favor to yourself. By not talking about your problems, you are actually making life more miserable for yourself. Even if people take your information and laugh at you, I think you need to learn that it's okay. And even if they are laughing at you, so what? Let them have some fun out of your information, to be the least. What you need to learn is that your information is not a very big secret for you. It's such a light problem. If you think that your relationship breakup is something that has never happened to anybody, you are wrong. All of us have been through that. You don't have a unique problem. The problem that you are experiencing today, somebody or the other in this world has already experienced it. So your information is not actually unique in particular. Maybe it is unique in your close circle, but let it all go. Let that weight from this information go. Don't make it so heavy on your chest and say that if somebody else knows what they'll say, what they'll do, it's okay if they say something. It's okay if they laugh for once. How does that change you? But let's say if you go and talk to 3 people, out of them, maybe one person goes and makes fun of you, the other 2 will come and help you out. I have experienced this in my life that in general, human beings are very social. We are bound to be social. And if you are surrounded by good human beings, they will not take your information and use it for something else, honestly telling you. You just have to give in your trust and say that, hey, I'm sharing this information with you in confidence. I would really appreciate you listening to me and maybe guiding me or be with me when I'm going through this tough time in my life. Be vulnerable. Don't think that your problem is unique. It has happened to other people. And once you start opening up, when you start trusting other people will start giving you their trust, their guidance, their love, their care. They'll be tender towards you and they'll be very, very honest with you. So don't take too much load, be vulnerable and share your piece, whatever you have in mind. The second thing that has helped me time and again is exercising. So no matter how much difficult situation I'm in and how heavy I'm feeling, what I do is that in one moment, if I'm feeling heavy, I'm sad, I just do this. Get up. I know it is not very easy to do and it takes a lot of practice, but once you start doing it, trust me, you will develop that kind of memory that every time you feel stressed, you will do this and the next step will be you'll be out of your bed, you will go for an exercise, you'll go for a jog, anything that you enjoy. When we exercise, our hormones start responding, the serotonin level goes up, our heart starts beating faster. So the happiness and in general, that positivity that we feel, we start having those hormones in action when we start moving physically. Forget about your mind being cluttered. I know when you are stressed, you will feel so heavy here that you will not be able to think anything straight. But even if you're not, be just so dumb and say that I don't care about what is happening here. I'm just going to go out and make a movement now. Like I'm going to move my body now. Start doing that movement. Trust me, even if you can do jog, even if you can just do a light walk, if you just plug in your headphone, listen to some good music, go out. If you exercise in the gym, go out, do that. If you play a sport, go do that. If you dance, go for a dance class or go to a pub and dance your heart out. But whatever is your thing, do it. Physical movement has one of the maximum potential to change what's happening over here. They are all interconnected. The neurotransmitters in your body start getting active. And maybe the exercise is not the direct answer to your problem, right? If your ex has left you, we can't get that ex back in that moment, but you will get clarity of thought that will take you beyond what you are able to think today in the moment today. You will be able to understand that why it has happened. Could I do anything about it? Can I do anything about it? Was this meant to happen or not? So these kind of conversations will start happening on its own once you are able to kind of unclutter your neurotransmitters in the body. So when we say that mentally I'm feeling very loaded, it's actually because that physically there are a lot of things that are not in the right state of frame. And that's something that we need to change. So these are my two strongest tools that I don't think have helped me more than anything else in my life in dealing with the stress. And maybe I will share my stressful life stories with you some other day. But for today, just know that I'm 41 years old. So a lot of things I have been through in my life. And I don't think that anything else has given me more power and more strength than talking to people, reaching out to my community. And the second thing is exercising. So these two things I would like you to take away from this video today. Any stress that you have, you'll be able to deal with it. And in case you feel like reaching out to me for any specific issue, anything lifestyle related, I can give you my fair opinion on it. And trust me, if I don't know what you're supposed to do, I will be able to guide you in some or the other way. I hope this video brings a little smile to your face and maybe helps you de-stress a little bit. And I hope my system allows you to build your own system that helps you deal with the stress. Trust me, as human beings, we are supposed to be happy, in a happy state most of the times in our life. And that's our original state. That's the state that we always fall back to. The only thing that we need to figure out a system to get back to that state a little faster.